What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this Tuesday. Doing pretty good myself. I come across this particular situation right here with the San Francisco NAACP clarifying statements on $5 million payouts in California for reparations. They're saying that it should be cash payments, plus investments or what have you. Now, the thing is this. For those ones that wants to actually maintain the status quo of the opposer, you understand? What do? They always get a, Sambo-like type, you understand, to prop him up, to do their speaking for him. Just like they did in this particular situation here. It says the San Francisco branch of the NAACP is engaged in a public information blitz to clarify a press release it sent out urging San Francisco city government to reject a proposal to pay each qualifying black city resident a one lump sum of reparations payment of $5 million. The Rev.Amos, a member of the San Francisco Reparations Board, pastor of Third Baptist Church, and the president of the San Francisco NAACP, released a March statement before the recommendations were presented to the supervisors rejecting the $5 million payout. Okay? To reject the $5 million payout. See, it's always these ones, you understand, that pretty much got their thing together and don't want the rest of us to catch up. You understand? Long as they, got their little thing together, they're going to stand in the way of progress for other so-called black people, to follow suit. And my thing is this. Who is he to speak on our behalf, to reject $5 million reparations payment? Now, keep in mind, this is in San Francisco, but you got to know, if it happens in San Francisco, eventually that will happen nationwide, meaning every state, would have to, or city will have to follow suit, because, hey, was not forced servitude, aka slavery, happened, to all of our ancestors, all of our people? Of course it did, and I just can't, I hate when they get these kind of people like this, man, stand them up to actually represent their status quo behind the scenes, because that's all it boils down to, rejecting whatever proposal that would benefit us. He does not have the right to do that. But to get into this article right here, it does say the San Francisco branch of the NAACP is engaged in a public information blitz to clarify a press release it sent out urging the San Francisco city government to reject a proposal to pay each qualifying black city resident a one-time lump sum reparation payment of $5 million. The Reverend Amos Brown, a member of the San Francisco Reparations Board, pastor of Third Baptist Church, and the president of the San Francisco NAACP, released a March 14 statement before the recommendations were presented to the supervisors rejecting the $5 million payout. And it continues to read here, reparations should focus on investments and opportunities in 5 areas: education, employment, housing, healthcare, and a culture center for San Francisco black residents. The prepared statement reads, "We strongly believe that creating and funding programs that can improve the lives of those who have been impacted by racism and discrimination is the best path forward toward equality and justice," Brown stated. Brown is the vice chairman of the California Reparations Task Force, which is proposing recommendations for 2 million black residents in California. Now, I'm going to add this right here. $5 million will enable any black family to have all these things that they name. It's up to them how they want to, spend their money. You have no right to tell them how to spend their money. They know they can invest in whatever they want to invest in. You don't tell them how to get that done. This is just a little excuse, saying basically what they should put their money at. And this what reparations should be all about. Look, if the people of California, San Francisco, California, agree to receive $5 million payouts in reparations, it's on them thereafter to do whatever the hell they want to do with that money. That's on them. You don't get to sit up here and say, no, this is what it should include instead of y'all getting $5 million. That's none of your business right there, See, this is what I'm saying about these people. With $5 million, you can get your own housing, health care, and a cultural center or whatever. You can do whatever you want to do with your money. You understand what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Let's continue. The NAACP press release was met with immediate backlash by supporters in the movement for reparations across the country who have for decades now invested time, energy, and money into bringing the issues to national attention. In 2020, California became the first state to set up a task force to investigate the state's involvement in slavery. State-sanctioned aristocrats against African Americans and all other forms of discrimination and discriminatory policy that excluded Black Californians from state benefits or protections, or that prevented them from gaining social or economic power. This is reprehensible. It is a betrayal to Black Americans, tweeted Bishop Talbert Swan on March 17th, reacting to the press release. As a life member of the NAACP and the longest surviving president in the history of my branch, I am ashamed by the position taken by the San Francisco branch. Brown has since clarified in several public appearances that he is not against the idea of a cash payout, but only wants the recommendation to be a reasonable compromise. One, he says, that does not give the city's Black residents false hope. That's not giving Black residents residents false hope. You stay the hell out of it. You know what I mean? If that's the way they decide to pay the citizens there $5 million, you ain't got nothing to say about it. But see, I know that you the little prop man. That's what you're doing. And the thing is, they set you up there to say what they want to get up there to say themselves. But you are actually representing the opposing forces. That's what all it boils down to. Now to continue here, it says, we don't want to get set up for another study or for them to put this up on a shelf to collect dust, said Brown in an interview with Roland Martin. We must have action. We believe in cash plus, not either or. Man, this guy's so full of it, man. I'm telling you. Well, see, this is where it's always been. This is what it's always been. All the enemy has to do is find one prop, among us that's willing to sell out. You understand? And he's going to do the enemy's bidding. See, and that's all this Reverend Brown dude, that's all this boils down to, because he could have shut his damn mouth. You see? But to continue, Eric McDowell, chairperson of the African American Reparations Advisory Committee, (AARAC), a task force set up by the San Francisco city government, said that recommendations presented to the board of supervisors is an appraisal, and he is hopeful that the city will deliver much needed compensation for the Black community. McDowell made the statement in an interview with San Francisco's KRON, right there, KRON 4 KRON 4 News on March 4th. AARAC presented recommendations on March 14th. well, that's Cron's 4 News, excuse me, on March 14th to address the harms and struggles Black Americans have endured since they began migrating west after the Civil War. What the city will decide to do is fully in the hands of the supervisor's mayor's office and full leadership of the city, McDowell said in the 6-minute segment. We're hopeful as a committee that they will take up the charge and do what they believe both is right to do and have the capacity to do it. The recommendations, McDowell said, are only in draft from at this stage. They cover economic empowerment, education, generational wealth building, and public policies for the benefit of Black San Franciscans, whatever that is. McDowell referred to the recommendation as an estimation of value. Our task, AARAC, was to do the appraisal, and it's the city's time to determine, based upon recommendations, what they decide to adopt, McDowell said. Like I said, all these little complications that they throw in the mix, they really don't want to come up off of the money. That's all this boils down to. And they put these sellout props in the way, speaking on behalf of these the residents there in San Francisco, Black residents, that is. You can see what they're doing, man. This is just a bunch of, just shuffle around. See? Because if they really were sincere about paying money, they would just do it. Pay the residents the $5 million, lump sum check per resident and move on. It's up to them people how they want to use their own money. That's just what it is. These people ain't children, okay? Now to continue here, it says, once again, that conversation is yet to come. The determination of how it will get financed and made possible. McDowell continued, talking about reparations payments to San Franciscans who are Black American descendants of enslaved people. The 14-person reparations committee advises the Board of Supervisors, Mayor London Breed, the Human Rights Commission, and the public on the development of San Francisco reparations plan. The plan features ways that San Francisco's policies have harmed Black lives, okay? Giving qualifying Black residents individual payments of $5 million, the elimination of personal debt and tax liabilities of African American households, and securing annual income at a minimum of $97,000 for 250 years are part of the package the committee is proposing. And that sounds like a good package. As far as I'm concerned, it really does. San Francisco's Black population is 6% of the city's total number of residents, and they make up 38% of the city's homeless population. The AARAC has documented decades of policies and laws that systematically affected Black Americans in San Francisco, limiting their access to productive employment, property, education, and the ability to build generational wealth. All right? And this is just not happening in San Francisco. Y'all know that. This is in every state and city throughout the United States. This is what it's all about when it comes down to dealing with our people. We are all affected the same way. We're going to do the same thing, okay? To continue here, a decision by the Board of Supervisors on the amount of compensation owed to Black residents or the form it will take is not expected until June. Meanwhile, the city is mulling over the fact that providing financial compensation will push it deeper into the red, a point that has been made by some city officials that many who oppose reparations for Black Americans have latched onto the reference in their arguments. I wish we had this kind of money in San Francisco's general fund, but if we want to maintain the services that exist today, we do not, said Supervisor Hillary Ronan in a San Francisco Chronicle interview. San Francisco is currently facing a deficit of more than $720 million over the next 24 months. Supervisor Dean Preston told the San Francisco Chronicle that reparations are warranted but not financially feasible for the city. And I'm calling BS on that because why? That's mighty funny. The United States can kick in billions of dollars for other countries, you understand, to fight wars, just like with the Ukraine. And now Bush himself is talking about helping the 1948ers over there in Israel fight a war with Hamas. Yeah, Hamas. You know what I'm saying? See, and when all the Most High is doing is getting them 1948ers out of there and using the enemy to do it. That's basically what it is. He's letting them implode. You understand what I mean? That's all that boils down to. But here we go saying, well, we don't have the money. Yeah, you got the money. You got the money. If you can fund all these wars and stuff like that, yeah, you got the money. You know, that's just a way for you to cop out and say that you don't have the money because you really don't feel like you owe Black people anything, but you do. And we are going to get our just due, whether you like it or not. You understand what I mean? Whether you pay or whether you don't pay. We are getting reparations. So says the Most High when he comes back and fix things. But, you know, y'all can, lollygag around all you want to. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know what it is. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular situation right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, views, and opinions on it in the comment section. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.